everybody, this is Cynic25 here, and I'm bringing you a deck profile on Thunder Family, the Batteryman variant with Mass Chameleon. Yeah, you heard me, this deck is pretty under the radar. No one's playing this variant of the deck. And in fact, Thunder Family in its own right is pretty underrated. And I think it actually has some potential this format. But this is the variant I'm going to be running, and I just want to give you guys a lowdown on why I picked the cards I'm using and what purpose they serve in the deck. Now, typical Thunder Family decks, the first thing that comes to your mind is efficiency. But what's ironic is that pure Thunder Family decks aren't really that efficient, because in order to make your plays, you have to go -2 from your hand with either Maw-Hunter, Paw-Hunter, or Valen Prism. And what makes pure Thunder Family efficient in its purest sense is Seahorse, Pot of Duality, and Har-dee-har. But the restrictions on those cards is you can't special summon. And that's kind of counterproductive to the main goal of the deck, which is to keep pumping out XZs and plays every single turn. So when I constructed this variant, I really wanted to maintain the efficiency while still keeping the speed up, which I think is necessary in this format. So going straight into it, the 3 Batteryman here. This is essentially your 1-card XZ. Now, if you get 1 Batteryman in the grave, and you have 2 more in your hand, for instance, you have 2 1-card XZs. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible, the efficiency the Batteryman really gives this deck. And what's nice is that, like, if you drop 1 Batteryman with Foolish Burial in the grave, and then you Thunder Seahorse the other 2, there's your 2 1-card XZs. Now, Mass Chameleon is your other way to get 1-card XZs. And your targets for Mass Chameleon are Batteryman and Photon Thrasher, and it works pretty well. Now, both of these are also lights, so you can still make your typical light XZs, such as Photon Polydynamo and Constellar Omega. But beyond that, everything else is pretty standard here in typical Thunder Family. I'm running the 3 Maw-Hunter, the 3 Paw-Hunter, only 2 Valen Prism, and then the 3 Seahorse, which really keeps the deck efficiency going. Now, I know a lot of typical Thunder Family decks run Duality and Har-dee to maintain their efficiency, but this deck really doesn't need it. It really can maintain its card value pretty well, even without those cards, and its consistency, because of this Batteryman loop and this Chameleon loop. As for the spells, we're running 1 Mind Control, because it's one of my personal favorite techs. I run it. If you see my other deck profiles, it's pretty much in all my decks. I just love this card. 1 Dark Hole, 1 Foolish Burial, because it's very graveyard-centric. You want your Batteryman in the grave for your 1-card XZs. 2 Recycling Batteries, which is pretty much the salvage of the deck. 2 Mystical Space, 1 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance. This has also now become one of my personal favorite techs. It's just incredibly useful. As for the trap lineup, again, if you've been watching my deck profiles, this is kind of my favorite trap lineup with some variation. Obviously, you have your one-offs, Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential Tribute, Compulse, Solemn, 2 Fiendish Chain, 2 Call to Haunt It, and then in this deck, I'm actually running Trap Stun, because the downside of Thunder Family is that while you do make your plays every single turn, you only end up cranking out 1 of them, and you want to make sure that single play gets off. So you want to have a lot of cards in the deck to make sure that 1 play each turn goes off. So that's the reasoning behind Trap Stun. Now, as for the extra deck, I'm running 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Colossal Fighter, 1 Thought Ruler Archfiend, 1 Avenging Knight Parsath. This card right here just steals games. It can change monsters' battle position, kind of like Karakuri Beret, and it also inflicts piercing damage. So works pretty well against like Dracosac tokens and all that, or just problem cards. 1 Stardust and 1 Stardust Spark Dragon. Now, I usually make Stardust Dragon with Mass Chameleon, and I usually make Stardust Spark Dragon with Valen Prism. Because when Valen Prism goes to the grave, you can bring it back onto a monster, and it's much better to bring that back on Stardust Spark than Stardust Dragon, because in order for Stardust Dragon to get its effect, it has to go to the grave, and then you lose your Valen Prism. But with Stardust Spark Dragon, it will stay on the field so you can maintain that equip. As for the XZs, 1 M7, 1 Valen to Sigma, 2 Omega, 1 King Gremlin, well, King of Pharaoh Limbs, 1 Star Leech 2 Star Leech Polydynamo, 1 Cowboy, and 1 Lavolval Chain. Now, Lavolval Chain is very useful in this deck, because it helps you, like, if you don't have a Foolish Burial, or you just didn't draw that well, you can just make a Lavolval Chain, get your Batteryman in the grave, and just start the loop going. So that's pretty much the whole theme behind the deck. It's meant to pump out 1-card XZs as much as possible while still maintaining speed, and it really does it well. So definitely give this variant of Thunder Family a shot. I know a lot of other variants run like the Watt engine. They also run the Sys Hunter engine, which I've tried both of them. They work okay, but if you're looking for efficiency while still maintaining speed, I think this is your variant. So that's why you should be playing this deck, this format. Let's see what it does. Thunder Family, January 2014 format, coming at you. So as always, guys, hope you liked the video, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and take care.